Hi, this is Jo Karen Hudson. I'm working with you today on section 8.3. This is the last section in this module. We're still working on percent problems. Today, specifically, we'll be working on tax rates. Example 1. What is the amount of tax paid on a purchase of $30 if the tax rate is 5%? So we want to know here what 5% of $30 is, and that will tell us how much tax we're going to pay. So we're going to let what we want to know be X. And then I'm going to remember my formula, percent over 100 is equal to the is over the of, and I'm going to plug in what I need in that formula. Now the percent is 5, so we'll have 5 over 100. The is what we're looking for, that's X, and the of is 30. So now we're going to cross multiply, and I will have 100 times X is 100X, and 5 times 30 is 150. So if I divide both sides by 100, I will have X is equal to 1.50. Remember, this is tax, which is money, so I want to have two decimal places showing. $1.50 is the amount of the tax. Now I'm going to use this amount in the next problem. The next problem is based on example 1. What is the total price? The total price, including the tax, which we know to be $1.50, paid on an item, on a purchase that was $30. So the total price is the cost of the purchase plus the tax. So the total price, the cost of the purchase was $30, plus the cost of the tax was $1.50. So the total price is $31.50. All right, let's look at example 3 now. What is the tax rate for a total purchase price of $56.29, and the items cost $52? We want to know what the tax rate is, so we can get the amount of the tax first. The amount of the tax. The amount of the tax is the amount of the total purchase price, minus the cost of the purchase. So the amount of the tax, so we have a total purchase price of $56.29, and the items cost $52. So we know that the amount of the tax is actually $4.29. So we want to set this up in the form of an equation. We know that $4.29 is what percent of the $52. We pay the tax on the amount of the purchase. So if we set this up as a proportion, we'll have percent over 100 equals the is over the of. The percent is what we're looking for. That's X over 100. The is the $4.29, and the of is 52. So when we cross multiply, we'll have 52x is equal to 4.29 times 100, or 52x is equal to 429, because when we multiply by 100, it moves the decimal 2 times to the right. Now I'm going to need to divide both sides by 52. And when I divide 429 by 52, I get 8.25. 8.25. 8.25% is the amount of the tax. 8.25%. Moving on along, example 4, we have Chris has a haircut that costs $35 and he wants to leave a 15% tip in cash. How much tip does he leave? So we want to know what 15% of $35 is. So if I set this up as a proportion, percent over 100 is equal to the is over the of, I'll have 15 over 100, and the is what I'm looking for, that's x, and the of is 35. So now I'll cross multiply. And I'll have 100x is equal to, when I do 15 times 35, I will get 525. 525. And so when I divide both sides by 100, I'll get x is equal to $5.25. Now, we were asked to round it off to the nearest dollar, so the tip is actually going to be a $5 tip when it is rounded off to the nearest dollar. Example 5, this is the last example on this section. Alex took her best friend out for dinner, and the bill the waitress brought was $23.50. If Alex added a 20% tip, what did she pay? Now the tip is equal to 20%, 20%, 20% of the $23.50, or the tip is. So we're going to have the tip is 20% of the $23.50. So it's going to be x. And I'm going to use my proportion. Percent over 100 is equal to the is over the of. I'll have 20 over 100 is equal to, now the is what I'm looking for, that's x, and the of is the $23.50. So when I cross multiply, I will have 100x is equal to $23.50 times 20. Let's see, $23.50 times 20 is $4.70. So I will have 100x is equal to $4.70. And then when I divide both sides by 100, I will have x is equal to 4.70, or $4.70. Now, that's the tip. The tip is $4.70. The haircut was $23.50. So what she's going to pay, what does she pay? She pays the cost of the haircut plus the tip. She's going to pay $23.50 plus 4.70. She is actually going to pay $28.20. This concludes this video on Section 8.3. You will need to do the homework on Section 8.3. You will need to do the quiz on Section 8.3. This is the end of this module. This is Jo Karen Hudson speaking. Thank you and have a great day.